Okay. All right. Let's give me a demonstration to work on your practiced gesture drawings. So um, on Canvas, I'm gonna post a independent assignment for you guys to work on. For pretty much like your warm up today. But when you click on the assignment, though, you'll click on a link though that'll lead to these different images of different poses of different figures here. Okay, so just real simple though. Just click on the image and use your finger and click and hold with your finger to save on the camera roll. Okay, so you want to save this image on your camera roll, and if you go to your photos, it should be located on there. All right. Okay, so you're gonna open up Procreate, and I'm just gonna show you guys how to set it up from the beginning. Okay, but you're gonna want to upload the image on here. So go on to Procreate, then click on Photos, and click on the image that you just uploaded. Okay, and you should have everything set up for like your drawings. Okay. So we're gonna practice, doing a little bit of gesture drawings today. So ideally, what we want to do though is we want to look at the reference, the image, and then just kind of draw from observation. But we're gonna build up those skills though from start to beginning, just because gesture drawings is like kind of one of those things where it's kind of hard to do at first, but the more you practice it, and the more you get better at it. Even like myself, I'm not like super comfortable doing gesture drawings, but after I kind of do like a few of them, it just becomes like more natural to do the drawings. So okay, so to get started on your gesture drawings, and we're just doing a little bit of a practice. So I want you to separate your layers. So you have your layer one. You can lock this layer so you don't have to draw on it. Click on plus to create a new layer. So you're just drawing this on layer two. Okay, so just set it with Studio Pen. I think Studio Pen is pretty nice for your gesture drawings, and and then just go with like a really bright saturated color. I'm gonna go with red for mine. Okay, and then you're gonna zoom in on the figure drawing itself. Okay, so all right, so for your practice today, though, okay, I'm gonna have you pretty much just trace the form, but I want you to think about a couple of things as you guys are drawing and tracing the form. So I'm saying tracing the form. I'm not telling you to trace exactly like this drawing here, but I want you to look at the shapes, the forms, and the what they call the line of action. So okay, so a lot of these forms though that you guys are looking at, there's obviously like a lot of movement, positioning poses, so they're kind of like a very unique poses. So with gesture drawings though, we want to try to capture like movement and basically like capture like the form and the pose as quickly as we can, just because in this part of the drawing, when you're doing like the very beginning though, you want to like at least get like the general idea of like what you're drawing down pretty quickly, just because kind of like the quicker you move, the more flowy or more movement and rhythm you can create with your lines. So some of you guys would like tracing your references, like the last project though. You may notice it looking very stiff though, just because when you trace things, things typically look a little bit more stiff in the drawing. Okay, so the first thing I want you guys to do though is just look at like the line of action. So if I were to create like a line of action, it'd be like this curve right here. So it's going down from the leg here and up to the head. Okay, so you want to capture like this. If you could do it in like one line, try to capture like the pose in one line. This is like pretty much like what that one line would be. You could even even consider the line to be like even all the way up to even like the hand itself. But you want to capture like those different poses in like one line. And usually it kind of leads to the head and then down to the the foot here. Okay, but in terms of like line of action though, you want to try to capture like the pose in like kind of one line, or as as little lines as possible. Okay, so look for that line of action first. And I typically like to draw where the head would be, so I would just go with an oval shape here, and then just draw my line here to the bottom of the foot here. Okay, so once you have that line of action though, Then you can start thinking about like the largest parts of the bodies, and then move on to smaller details. So always go from like biggest to smallest things on here. So obviously your biggest object would be the torso here. Okay, so torso, I would just kind of do like an oval shape. Then your pelvis would be like the next shape that'd be the biggest. Okay, another thing you could think too is think about like the 3D form too. You want to just kind of like adjust your lines for like where the shapes and forms would be. So this pelvis is going in like this 3D form like right here, and this chest is like this. So it's almost like kind of like bean-like shapes. This is like where one side of the body is, and then this is the other side. So if you kind of establish these forms, it's kind of easy to figure out like the rest of it, just by looking at it. So I'm just gonna draw like the rest of this here. This is like where my stomach would be, and then you can start thinking about like the different different line of actions for like the legs, the arms, and the feet. Okay, but once you kind of draw where those things are, you want to like create a more three-dimensional form with the shapes. So like right here, like this leg here, try to make it look a little bit more 3D. So instead of just drawing like just the shape itself, try to make it look more three-dimensional. Okay, but the trick of the drawing though is like kind of creating the illusion of like 3D with the things that you're drawing. If you can kind of create more of that illusion in the drawing, then the better it'll look. You still want to like make sure you get your contours as well. So with the fingers though, I just usually do the wrist, and then you could just do like lines for the finger, since this is a pretty small drawing. Okay, so that's the cylinder too. This is the head. You can just do like lines for the eyes and this in the mouth. I wouldn't even worry about the hair. Okay, but this should be pretty quick drawing though. Okay, I don't want you to spend too long on it though. And you could just do like one shape for like the hands. This is fine too. Okay, but just try to get like the 3D form though. If you want to do like, these are called like cross contour lines. This is to help to make it look more 3D because most of these shapes are going to be like cylinder shapes when you draw them. Okay. So again, you're just tracing the forms, and then when you're done with like one of the drawings, you can move it over. This is how it should look when you're done. So now when we actually do like real gesture drawings though, we'll look at the picture and then we'll draw what we see. But just thinking about the line of action, just making sure the forms look three-dimensional. Okay, those are just things you have to think about when you work on the drawing. Line of action, and then make it look 3D with cross contour lines. Okay, so and then how does this translate to like your actual drawing? So once you kind of got like the shape and the form done real quickly, then you can go on to the details of the drawing. So a lot of cases where drawings fall apart is it's not really the part where you add in the details. It's usually like the first parts where like things look really stiff, or you're not really capturing the shapes and the forms correctly at first. So if you can kind of do that in the beginning, and if you mess up, you can always redraw it again. But it's usually not a lot of the details that are the issue. It's really just the beginning parts of like the drawing. Okay, so you do it for like this one here, then I want you to practice these other three, and just make sure you create a new layer for all of them. So I would just click on so this is layer 2, so click on plus. You can do like a different color for like the next one, but same idea though. Get the line of action. So this is like the main line right here, and a lot of the times they'll usually be where the head is, so you can do like a head for the oval, and then the legs. So I can actually do like this line like that. This torso here. So, and then the pelvis. Okay, the same idea though. You want to just get the cross contours, line of action, and then just draw out the shapes and forms. So I'm gonna just do that as one shape as well. Okay, and I wouldn't worry about the clothes or the hair. Just focus on just the body. So this one's a little bit trickier just because we can't really see because of the clothes. And it's okay if you want to do like drawings of the clothes as well. It's fine too. And I with the drawing, just move it over. Okay. So I want you to practice it for all three of them, or all four of these, and then, you can screenshot it, save as a JPEG to turn it in.